So we can hear you. So maybe start.
Sir, we can't hear you, sir.
Are you okay now?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Welcome to the Northeastern Region Stakeholder Consultation. It's a deep pleasure to connect with you through this platform. I welcome the Vice Chancellors, Professors, Directors of IQACs, Principals, and other representatives from higher education councils of different states of Northeastern region. May I request our director, Professor Ganesh,
Talk to them about the program.
This program is essentially about the consultation that we want to have from the stakeholders of Higher Education Council in connection with the reforms that we wanted to introduce through binary accreditation. Now, this program, today, we will be presenting the proposed manual for binary accreditation and different metrics that we have planned to introduce in binary accreditation. Now, the structure of this program is going to be such that we would be having the introductory remarks from Professor Ganesh, the director of NAAC, and after that, Dr. Sujata Shanbag, the advisor of NAAC, will be presenting the university manual. Now, after that, we would have a question and answer session wherein the persons from universities can pose questions and clarifications regarding the university manual. Post that, myself, Dr. Priya Narayanan, will be presenting you the manual of the affiliated and autonomous colleges, more specifically those matrices which will not be applicable for the institutions, and beyond that, we will take question and answers from the colleges posing to the manual of colleges, where myself, Dr. Shanbag, and Dr. Jagannath Patil will be there to answer your questions. So if this is fine, sir, maybe proceed to the introductory remarks by you, sir. May I request Professor Dr. Kandabiran to please give the introductory remarks to the stakeholder consultation.
Yeah. Good morning to one and all present here. On behalf of my colleagues at NAAC, I warmly welcome you to this presentation and discussion. We are also joined by Dr. Dada Pillai, our senior advisor, former senior advisor, who is also involved in the process now. Madam, we welcome you also for this meeting. So I'll take about 10 minutes to present you the high-level details of what we are trying to do in the reforms. And as all of you know that the government of India, post-implementation of NAAC 2020, constituted a committee under the leadership of Dr. Radhakrishnan, former chairman of ISRO, to propose transformative reforms for strengthening assessment and accreditation in higher education institutions in India. And this committee presented a draft report in May 2023, and it was placed for public opinion and feedback for about a couple of months. And the report was finally submitted in October or November 2023. In January 2023, the report was approved by the Ministry of Education, Government of India, and the same was placed in the Executive Committee of NAAC for its implementation. And as all of us know that the reforms that are being proposed now are completely different from the past ones, and the context is today different. And as we all look at India in 2047, we are going to be a developed nation, which means that the country will witness economic development, social development, and other related aspects. I mean, today we are the fifth largest economy of the world, and we are poised to become the third largest economy of the world. And commensurate with the economic development, we are also aiming social development of the nation. The next 25 years, which the Prime Minister calls as a call, is going to be very important to achieve the target of becoming the third largest economy of the world. And the important aspect of this transformation in the next 25 years is going to be uniquely connected with the young population that India has, got now. And this young population, which is in the schools now and colleges, will be getting into the jobs and active careers and life. And therefore, whatever we today talk about as reforms are really important in that context. And it's needless to highlight that the role of higher education is going to be paramount. And when we really talk about the role of higher education, there is a complete shift from what is expected out of higher education institutions in the past and what is going to be expected in the future is completely different. For example, we were looking at more knowledge-oriented, or we're talking about skill-oriented. We were looking at only the formal education, the classroom teaching, learning, and skill development. We are now looking at the overall development of the individuals and so on. Which means that we need to produce graduates, be it at engineering or arts or commerce. These are graduates are expected to be highly skilled, and they are able to pick the jobs which are going to be created. Equally, that we are also looking at a whole lot of youth getting into startups and entrepreneurship, and thereby creating jobs for others. And in order to achieve this kind of transformation of higher education, we need to look at the quality of higher education in terms of every aspect that we are are looking into. Look at being the curriculum design or the curriculum delivery or the kind of processes that we have to impart skills and knowledge to the young population. That is going to be an important aspect of it. And therefore, the transformative reforms are by and large aligned with the NEP 2020 and other national priorities. The Dr. Radhakrishnan Committee talks about the reforms broadly in two levels. One is the binary accreditation, and then those institutions that are accredited binary will be opting for what is called level of accreditation. And NAAC has existed for 30 years, and we will be celebrating our 30th Foundation Day in September 2024. And we are, fully geared to look at this transformation and launch the binary accreditation first, and then launch the levels as per the expectations of the government. So I would like to take a few minutes to talk about the essential recommendations of Dr. Radhakrishnan Committee. The first one is about binary accreditation, which means that the current grading system of A plus plus, A plus, and so on will go away. There is only one decision that we will give called accredited or not accredited. And there is also a thinking that those institutions which are very close to the threshold levels will be given a chance. They will be called awaited accreditation or provisional accreditation. We are yet to design the appropriate nomenclature for that. This is the first one. The other one is maturity-based graded levels. Now, those institutions accredited will be opting to become place themselves in one of those levels, and this is very important because of our current context and obviously our futuristic context as well. So, if you today look at the top 100, 200 institutions in the world, there are very few Indian institutions on par with those global institutions. The recommendation, it's basically providing maturity pathway for those for the institutions from moving from level 1 to level 4. And those institutions which are at level 5 will be institutions of global excellence for multidisciplinary research and education, which are obviously better suited for to be placed along with the top institutions of the world. And all of us know the data is very important in accreditation, be it qualitative aspect or quantitative aspect. And today, the agencies, there are multiple agencies looking for data from institutions. We are looking at ASHE, we are looking at UGC, we are looking at AICTE, we are looking at NAAC and NBA. Institutions are putting stress in terms of filling these data for multiple agencies, and there are a lot of faculty and staff involved in doing this repeatedly. To avoid this, the One Nation, One Data platform is created, and this platform is a single point through which institutions will be submitting this data. As far as NAAC is concerned, we will have a data validation and verification by the respective agencies. For example, NAAC will do its data validation verification, and NBA will have their own system of verification. And this, of course, there is a new concept that we are talking about called stakeholder crowdsourcing, wherein the data submitted by the institutions will be validated and for its reliability and correctness through an AI-based system, in addition to the regular data validation and verification. There are other recommendations such as choice-based ranking, higher weightage for process and outcome and impact rather than giving more weightage for input dimensions, considering the heterogeneity of HEI for OLP defined metrics. There are various categories of institutes today. As you see here, they are differing from in terms of the orientation, vision, and heritage, and so on. And obviously, we will be looking at how to define metrics taking into consideration these variations. Include all HEI and all programs under accreditation. Eventually, all the institutions and all the programs in the nation will be accredited. But also, there are institutions which are located in rural areas, remote locations, particularly in Northeast, and these institutions need to be given special consideration, and there will be handholding and mentoring support from NAAC to these institutions. And very important change now is we trust the institutions, and we say that we trust you, and when you provide data and information, and you are expected to provide the correct, right information. And there will be obviously penalty for wrong data submissions and wrongdoing. And since this is a new reform and which is differing largely, there will be a robust outreach mechanism of reaching out to the institutions, particularly those potential entrants who have not come for accreditation in the past. So the executive committee of NAAC has given certain directions to NAAC. So the stage 1, the binary accreditation, will be launched in May 2024, before end of May 2024, and the maturity-based graded levels in before December 2024. And in the process, we are looking at a major change in terms of having only 2 manuals, one manual for university and one manual for colleges. Having said that we are going to have only one university manual, obviously there are variations in universities. There are disciplines like law, medicine, and management, architecture, and so on. There will be a provision in the manual to accommodate the variability in terms of teaching, learning, or any other process. And this binary accreditation in particular is going to be purely automated and quantitative measurement basis, and there are no qualitative basis in the binary accreditation, except the cases where there are a lot of variations and you need to really check. There will be online visits. And the key objectives, of course, some of these points are repeated here. The key objective is, as all of you know, there are close to 45,000 colleges, we have accredited only 10,000 colleges. So 35,000 colleges have to be accredited. And there are obvious reasons why these 35,000 colleges are not coming forward for accreditation. Firstly, there is a very lengthy process. There is a lot of difficulties in submission of data and the process of validation of data. And then comes the peer team visits and a lot of known and unknown challenges in peer team visits. Therefore, it is basically ease of doing business, wherein we want to present a very light but tight methodology. The methodology will be very light in terms of its process, but it will be tight in terms of what metrics that we are using to measure and how we are measuring. So it is now a win-win opportunity for both for the institutions as well as for NAAC to completely revamp this, and so that we are able to achieve what we need to achieve. And the second shift in binary accreditation in particular is the focus on outcome and process aspects with less on input metrics. So thirdly, the technology-driven system with no or minimal manual involvement. It will work like an automated supply chain, wherein the data is submitted, data is checked, and for its correctness, and using certain formulas and benchmarks, the results will be generated. And it needs to say that these binary accreditation will also have reports highlighting aspects like where you are doing very well, where you are done well, but you have scope for improvement, and there are areas of content where you need to focus really to improve. So a comprehensive report will be generated, and it will be shared with the institution along with the accreditation status, whether it's accredited or not accredited. The other points, of course, we have already discussed. At this point in time, we have post the approval of the executive committee, we had formed two committees, sets of committees. One is called Apex Committee to guide the overall process of arriving at the manual for binary accreditation. And we also formed almost about 10 discipline committees, drawing very senior academics from various fields, like medicine, law, architecture, management, specialized universities like yoga and skills and so on. And we had at least 3-4 rounds of discussion. We all met in Bangalore on 1st and 2nd March. And based on subsequent discussions, we have arrived at the 10 attributes. These 10 attributes are by and large aligned with Dr. Radhakrishnan Committee's recommendation, except a few metrics were a little bit tweaked to make it more amenable for effective implementation. And if you look at these 10 attributes, the first 4 in green color, covering curriculum design, faculty resources, infrastructure, and financial resources management, together forms as part of the input metric. And moving on, the learning and teaching, extended curricular engagements, governance and administration, together forms part of the process metrics. The extended curricular engagements are that we traditionally call as co-curricular and extracurricular engagements. As the NEP 2020, sort of proposes that there should be no distinction between curricular and co-curricular activities, and therefore we have coined a new term called extended curricular engagements. These 3 together forms the process dimension. And the next 3, student outcomes, research and innovation outcomes, sustainability outcomes, including green initiatives. These 3 together forms the outcome metric or outcome attributes, and accordingly we will be defining those metrics for these attributes. And we are also reserving some portion of the metrics for what we call as situatedness and uniqueness. As we all know that we have large variability in terms of institutions, in terms of their location, in terms of their the other aspects of being able to attract good faculty members, have good industrial setup surrounded, and so on. So if you look at the spectrum, there are institutions which have a lot of disadvantages. Some of them are located in aspirational districts of the nation, and those have inherent challenges. So we want to capture those inherent challenges of those institutions and try and help them in the process. On the other hand, there are institutions which have done well, and some of them have done very well in certain areas, creating unique contributions in terms of placement or in terms of research or in terms of any other aspect. So we would like to accommodate these variability both in terms of the situatedness, which is mostly challenging thing for the institution, and those institutions which have uniquely contributed also considered under this thing. If you broadly look at let's say 1,000 points or 1,000 marks, and more than 700 or 750 points will go to process and outcome attributes and metrics as per the recommendations of the Dr. Radhakrishnan committee, and the very less will go to input. That is the point that all of us should know. These metrics defined for the given 10 attributes, we by and large have about 68 metrics as opposed to 87 metrics in the present methodology for universities, and for autonomous colleges about 63, and for affiliated college 53. So this is the kind of high level framework that we have evolved at this point in time. And now post the discussion with stakeholders like you, then we will definitely try and improve so that the final output or the final framework is 100% aligned to the requirements of the institution. With these few words, and I now welcome Dr. Sujata Madam to present on the university manual. And there are two Q&A sessions. The first Q&A session will focus on only university. Then there is another Q&A session for colleges. Those participants who want to ask questions or add value in the college, can wait until the college presentation is over. Madam Sujata, you can please proceed.
Thank you, sir.
People who have put messages about the PPTs, the PowerPoint presentation that we are using today will be shared with you, and there will be a Google form which will also be shared with you for you to give the feedback after the presentation also, after the meeting also. Madam, we are not able to hear you. Dr. Priya, you are able to hear? Dr. Priya, are you there?
Sir, I'm there, but Madam has to be unmuted. Habib, or I don't know who's there. Can you please unmute,
Habib,
Yeah, we
Habib?
are typing it out, sir. Please don't use the chat box.
I think
We
you
are
are on
typing
now.
it out.
Madam, you are I think on now. No. Please stay there. Please stay there. Please stay there.
Now it is unmuted. I think you can hear me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, sorry about that. Please go ahead.
You have to unshare the PPT also. I'm not able to share it.
No, we have unshared. You can share. You have to share your PPT, madam.
Abhi, I need your help.
Or I can, yeah.
Madam, you may share your PPT, madam, now.
Okay, Dr. Priya is sharing. I think, madam, she will help you to move the slide. Is that the plan, Priya?
Okay, sir. That's fine. That's yeah. Please share.
Ma'am?
There is some problem with the application every time. It's getting unmuted every time automatically.
Okay.
Madam,
Ma'am,
my
you can
suggestion
start.
is please come to my place here.
Okay. Namaskar, everyone. Taking director's thing, what he told further, the binary accreditation framework is in line with the Radhakrishnan committee report, and there is a clear-cut indication which are the process metrics, which are input metrics, and which are outcome metrics, so that intention of seeking questions for evaluation is made more clearer, so that the outcomes or the data will come in a correct form, or will be no ambiguity in the data, and it is taken care of heterogeneous aspects of the higher education institutions, and even we have tried to accommodate variability of different disciplines in this binary accreditation. As sir told, this is a trust-based process, but if HAIs are breaking the trust, will get the penalty. And the first one is the input attribute, which is curriculum design. In this, we have tried to see how the institutions have designed the curriculum, whether the curriculum framework is in alignment with the program outcomes, program specific outcomes and COs, and whether it is involved stakeholders in the curriculum design, the students, teachers, employee, alumni, industry, and entrepreneurs. How flexible it is provided in the curriculum, such as multiple entry and multiple exit, academic bank of credit for things, and elective education in mother tongue, creditization of extracurricular and co-curricular engagements, and inter-institution credit transfer. How the curriculum is practically oriented or industry focus is given in that in terms of having field project, research projects, internship, and practical hands-on training to students. What are the provision given in the curriculum? Whether curriculum uh, uh, has any skill-oriented courses aligned with NSQF and skill focus included in the curriculum design of its courses. Is there any provision for online and blended learning through maybe Swayam and other recognized MOOC platforms? And whatever the students have learned, those credits are whether it is considered for their degrees, whether the curriculum is revised frequently, how frequently it is revised, and in the curriculum whether the Indian knowledge system, whether it is integrated in that in terms of certificate courses or component of Indian knowledge system and promotion of students, projects and researches in Indian knowledge system. The second input attribute is the faculty resources. In this, we have looked at how the institutions recruit the faculty, teachers, whether the statutory regulations are followed, and is there any appeal against shortlisting, whether the committee is as per the UGC regulations, whether the rosters are followed, is there any gap in the filling required number of posts and filling of the post, and the selection process is transparent or not, and whether pay and allowances paid are as per the UGC or AICT norms or the statutory regulatory authorities norm. And we have also tried to capture the faculty diversity in the institutions in terms of gender and geographic diversity. Is the institution encouraging the faculty for professional development, whether they allow them to attend the training programs, how they facilitate them for this, whether the faculty, how the institution is trying to retain the good faculties in the institutions, and faculty student ratio is captured in faculty resources. The third one is the input process, that is I attribute infrastructure. In this, physical infrastructure availability in the institutions in terms of classroom, lecture hall, laboratories, and those are captured. How far the institution has all these facilities, and whether the institution has adequate learning resources in terms of books, language lab, and subscription for digital resources in the library is measured through this metric. And is institution is having adequate infrastructure facilities, whether high speed and reliable internets are available, is the HAI having effective learning management system, whether they have virtual labs, classrooms, technical support for ICT related issues, and so on. AR and VR also we have brought in. The other resources what we are expecting in the institutions are the e-library, which includes e-journal membership of Shodh Sindhu, Shodh Ganga, and discipline specific databases, plagiarism check software, and licensed statistical software we are looking for. Is the institution Divyangjan friendly? Do they have the facilities for Divyangjan and to encourage their education? Are there built environment with ramps, lifts, so that they can easily access to the classrooms? Whether Divyangjan friendly washrooms are there, whether there are signage, tactile path, lights, display boards, and whether there are scribe facilities and other screen reading facilities for these Divyangjan persons. How the institution has developed the resources for innovation, whether the universities have tinkering labs, fabrication lab, technology business incubators, and others. Fourth in attribute is also an input attribute, that is financial resources and management. In this, we are looking for the incomes received in terms of capital incomes. What are the sources for this capital incomes, and what are the sources for the revenue income? How the institutions are generating the resources, and how optimally these financial resources are utilized for capital, that is infrastructure and other things, and even the revenue towards salaries, maintenance, and administration, and other recurring expenditures. How optimally the institution is utilizing these, and what are the strategies for the sustainability and growth in terms of financial aspects? How institution is moving towards the self-sustainability, there's a financial stability and growth corpus, whether they have created, whether they have investments plan for increasing capital and revenue income, whether there is a decentralized budgeting, and what are the financial controls and risk managements, whether they have internal audit, external audit, and risk management approaches. The fifth attribute is a process attribute. This is learning and teaching. In this, we are expecting, we are looking for how the institutions' pedagogic approaches are student-friendly, self-centered, self-learning is encouraged or not, game-based learning, technology-based learning, even we have included kinesthetic learning for the specially abled students, whether all these are taken care in the institutions for better learning of the students. What percentage of students are undertaking internship and field project, though in the curriculum it may be there, whether it is implemented by the institution or not, and how far they are implementing is looked into through this metric. And regarding the assessment aspect, we are looking at whether the institution is having continuous evaluation system. Institution conducts the assessment through different methods like MCQ, portfolio assessment, open book exam, take-home exercises, case study, projects, and assignments. Is there any grievance redressal system regarding the assessment and evaluation? How they are friendly with the students, and how the evaluation is used for improving the learning of the students, whether they share the copies of transcript, retotaling is there, reevaluation, faculty consultation on student performance, attendance, and other aspects are considered in this. And this, even we look at the how the institutions are honoring the diversity of the students. Is there inclusive remedial teaching, peer-assisted remedial teaching, or multi-sensory remedial teaching, skill-based teaching, and others are expected of the universities. How would is learning management system, what extent the learning management system helps the students in learning is gauged in this metric, whether the institution is sharing teaching material through LMS, submission of assignments, mobile learning facilities are there or not, e-discussion platforms are provided, assessment outcomes are also done through LMS, and blended learning support is there in the LMS or not, we look into. How far in the teaching learning process the institution has involved the industry, what are the industry academia linkages for this purpose, where in the university calls the experts to deliver the lectures on the subject content, or there is any collaborative workshop with the industry and other stakeholders. Our students are allowed to do the internship with, allowed and encouraged to do the internship with the industry and other aspects. The sixth criteria is extended curricular engagements. In this, there are 6 metrics, and here what we look into is how the institutions are encouraging students to develop their personality, their personal growth or interpersonal relations, networking, and to pursue their interest through technical domain related club activities or technical fest, how far the institution facilitates this, and what are the clubs available in the institution, number of students are participating in that, those clubs and activities of the clubs and technical fest, whether it's organized or not, whether the institutions are conducting the hackathons or ideation workshops and encouraging students to participate in that. And apart from the academic things, whether they have cultural clubs and activities and festivals regarding the cultural aspects. And even in this, we will be looking for number of students participating in these clubs, activities of the clubs, and number of institutions participated in the cultural festivals organized by the institutions. Are there any clubs which are involved in promoting mental health of the students or mental well-being of the students through yoga, counseling, and meditations? Are there any sports club and team and other activities conducted by the institutions? Sports events are organized by other institutions. Whether the institution is encouraging the students to participate in the sports events organized by other institutions, and the institution is conducting sports events or not, how the institution is encouraging the students to participate in sports and their growth and development. Apart from this, the important one here, what we are looking for, institutional social responsibility towards community. How the institution is encouraging and sensitizing the students towards the community issues, the social awareness and impact created by the institution on communities, maybe improve, asking the students to go make awareness camps or intervene to improve the sex ratio, improve the GER, and making the village very clean village and disease-free villages or eco-friendly communities or village. In what aspects the institutions are encouraging the students, and how and what are the impact of these activities of students on the community is looked into. The seventh attribute is again a process attribute. This is governance and administration. In this, we look for the statutory compliance of the universities, whether universities having acts, statute, ordinance, regulations, which are formed following the statutory guidelines, and is there any public disclosure of these on the HAI website? Whether it displays on the website of the HAI, the Act, statute, regulations, ordinance, whether the different details of the members of different statutory committees and their functions are available, and frequency of these statutory committee meetings and minutes of the meetings are available on the website, annual reports are available on the website, and academic regulations, calendar, circulars, even the curriculum and regulations with COs, POs are available on the website or not. Here we are looking at two aspects, whether these are in line with the regulatory authority guidelines and how far it is disclosed on the institutional website. And institutional development plan is very important. We look here for the vision mission of the institution and how the institution plan for achieving the goals mentioned in the vision of the institution. This is a planning and strategic implementation strategies, how the institution has looked at those things. And once the strategies are done, whether these vision mission things and the IDPs are disclosed to all the stakeholders of the institution, how it is disclosed, and whether the milestones are clearly defined in the IDP, and the academic and administrative audits in terms of monitoring the IDP implementations are carried out, and how the report of the AAA is looked at, and is there any specific strategies, interventions are identified to improve or towards aligning to the achieving the goals and vision of the institution. Are there any e-governance implementation in the institution, and whether the institution is implementing the Digital India initiatives of Government of India and other government initiatives, maybe Digital India policy guidelines, NAD and ABC implementation, administration including complaint management and paperless office. Are they moving towards paperless office, finance and accounts through digital system? How far the e-governance is implemented? We are also looking at student and employee welfare measures taken by the HEIs. Are there effective employee welfare provisions for teaching, non-teaching staff, and even students? Whether the institution gives subsidized interest-free loans to staff, and health and other general insurance schemes, support through in-campus infrastructures, facilities like in-house crash, schools, staff quarters, hospitals, and other facilities, and policy on various leaves and academic concessions, safety audit and resultant maintenance of continuous quality living and ambience inside the campus. These are the things we are looking for. We are expecting the institutions to do for the student and employee welfare. And what is the grievance handling mechanism in the institution? Whether the regulatory things like ICC and ragging, anti-ragging cells are established, and are there any counseling center, ombudsman facilities in the institutions to handle the grievances of the faculty, non-teaching staff, as well as students? How effective in the metric quality assurance system? We are looking for how effective is the quality assurance system of the institution, whether the institution has dynamic internal quality assurance cell or system, and it's whether it is as per the guidelines of NAAC and UGC, and whether the stakeholders are represented on this committee. Is its activities are aligning towards achieving the IDP, whether it conducts the academic and administrative audit in terms of monitoring the achievement of the IDPs, how crucially, how effectively the IQAC or IQAS is acting for the quality improvement of the institution. The effective leadership metric looks at how effective is the leadership in terms of adequate representation of stakeholders on decision making, delegation of powers, establishing effective communication channels, effective feedback system for improvement of the institution, layered approvals, provision of escalation levels on important organizational aspects. We also look at, are there any inter-university collaborations to provide exposures to its faculties and students through networking and sharing resources, consortiums, mentoring institutions, and collaborative research and joint programs for the quality improvement of the institutions, faculty, and students. The eighth attribute is the outcome based attribute, that is student outcomes. The activities conducted in the previous one, the input attributes and the process attributes, how far they have effectively done, and what are the outcomes out of because of those activities are measured in this attribute. Because of the institutional facilities and encouragements, how many graduates have employed through campus placements or otherwise, and we would like to see the salary package of the institution too, and how the students are progressing towards the higher education and research. If not employed or progress toward higher education, are there students who are graduated from the HER becoming entrepreneur, self-employed during the last 3 years? Percentage of graduates qualifying in the competitive exams? Are there, because of the empowerment of the students, are there any awards, recognitions received by the students in curricular, co-curricular and extracurricular activities, sports at state, regional, national and international level? We are also looking at the enrollment ratio because of the institution's quality. Is there any improvement in the enrollment, or is the enrollment ratio of the institution? What are the graduation rate, that percentage of students completing the program in a stipulated time? And along with the student satisfaction survey, what we are doing now, we are also thinking of introducing the alumni survey to know the learning experiences of the past students in the institution. Ninth attribute is the outcome attribute, that is research and innovation outcomes. So far, the faculty of the institutions are able to get the externally funded research projects from government, non-government, from industry, corporate houses. And what are how much faculty are public producing the publications in peer-reviewed journals, UGC careless journals, and book chapters and other kind of publications. Research qualities we are measuring in terms of H index and citation index. How many students are awarded PhDs per teacher? Are there research fellowships received by the institution? Are there any IPRs, including patent, copyright, trademarks, produced by the institution? What extent the institution is collaborating with national and international institutions of higher ranking industries with the focus to include interdisciplinary research and community-based research and technology transfer. Number of students startup incubated and which are supported through technology-based incubators. Tenth attribute is sustainability and green initiatives. This is the last attribute in which we look at the sustainability aspects, SDGs, how the HEIs are able to achieve these things through community activities and managing the water resources and waste management, how the water resources are conserved and recharged, what are the policies of the institution for these things? Are there any waste management policies, and are they implemented? All these things we look into this metric. How the institution is progressing towards net zero is also measured. The facilities for alternate source of energy conservation measures like solar energy, wind energy, biogas plant, sensor-based energy conservation, even use of LED bulbs and power efficient equipments. These are the things which we are looking at the institutions, how it is contributing towards the SDGs. Are institutions conducting green audits? Environmental quality of the institution and its surrounding is regularly monitored through them. Are there any energy audit, carbon sequestration, measuring air pollution, water budgeting, maintaining clean and green campus, and how the institution is collaborating with the industry and NGOs, and the achievements are illustrated through active NCC units, active NSS units, and social service and community awareness programs organized in collaboration with other bodies. And apart from that, any other collaboration which yield focused result for common good of the community. Thank you. I think we can take the question answers.
Yeah, thank you very much, ma'am. These are the metrics that we would use in binary accreditation to accredit the universities. Now, may I request the participants from universities to please post your questions either in chat box, or you can raise your hand so that our person from here from ICT will unmute you and call out for your name to pose your questions.
And Dr. JP has joined?
Yeah, JP sir is here.
Yes, sir. JP, you are not visible.
I am visible to myself. I don't know on the screen.
JP sir is visible.
You are visible now.
Okay. Okay. By the time people raise their queries, I will just do one preemptive task, that is reading out some FAQs that yesterday we developed with help of director, so that these will be the questions we suppose coming from various people. So just quickly in 5 minutes, the 5-6 FAQs are there. And as our director sir has explained you the overall high level structure and how it is going to operate, the overall scheme, the philosophy behind that, and how it is going to unfold. And Dr. Sujata Shanbag, advisor, has explained how the metrics are designed, particularly for the university manual. Just to clarify, one question will come is that what is happening to different types of institutions? If you are a specialized type of institution like management institution, health or law. So as was briefly explained by our director, there will be what we explain now is a set of common metrics for universities. But in addition, specific inputs, what we call as discipline specific metrics, will be there for different types of universities and also colleges, and those are being designed. So around 10 to 15 metrics will fit into the current scheme, and they will be able to opt those metrics in place of some of the metrics which have been presented now. So that is one frequently asked question. Another frequently asked question is, some of you might have been already accredited with your accreditation status valid, say for 25, 26, 27. So the answer is that you can still continue to enjoy the benefit of that accreditation that will be valid till the date mentioned on your accreditation certificate. So in the meantime, there will be more details coming up. If you want to shift to binary in between or later, you can come to binary. But as of now, you can continue your accreditation status. And there are so many details that you may be having in mind. What will be the benchmark? What is the SOP? What is going to be the cutoff mark? If it is yes or no accreditation, at what percentage? Is it 50 or 60 or 70 or 40? There will be cutoff marks and the documentation is required. So all those things are in the process of development, and shortly they will be announced by NAAC, and certainly before May 2024, they will be on the website of NAAC. Eligibility, I think, has been explained. It is very simple. 2 batches of passed out students is the eligibility. Whether you have completed 3 years, 4 years, or 10 years, irrespective of that, if you have 2 batches of passed out students, you are eligible to apply for NAAC accreditation. And the validity for this will be 3 years as the current understanding. And the data which you are required to fill in for this process will be also for 3 years. So preceding 3 academic years will be required in terms of data that is required on this framework. One very important question will be if you have already submitted IIQA for the current process, what will happen to you? The current position of NAAC on that is that you have option till actually binary accreditation kicks in. You have option for either you want to your IIQA is submitted. If it is accepted, please submit your SSR and go ahead with your process of DVV and peer team visit, and you will have your graded accreditation, and which will be valid for the relevant period. Or if you think that yes, I am more inclined to go for binary for various reasons. For one good reason for you is that there is no visit in this process. It is lighter in terms of process. So if you want to switch to binary now, having submitted your IIQA, you have that option available with you. That's one. Another important and last one is again those accredited institutions submitting various AQARs. What will happen to that? Whether it is going to change? So answer is that as long as you are in the old, means current accreditation system, please continue to use the AQAR format which is available on the NAAC website. Once you get accreditation in the binary system, then you after that you will receive the format for AQAR, which you can use for subsequent annual quality assurance reports. So these are the few FAQs, and then I think request that participants can raise their hands or post their comments on chat, and together with Director NAAC and my colleagues at NAAC, we will be trying to answer your queries.
Yeah. In the chat, there is one question. We want to apply for normal grade accreditation, and there will be whether there will be choice for this. Yeah, they can apply for.
If they are eligible to apply now, they can apply. This is available till 30th May, I believe.
Yeah. And then one university wants to go for maturity-based graded system besides binary accreditation. Will it be possible?
For everybody who goes through binary accreditation, the next step is maturity level accreditation. But first, they have to perhaps go through this binary accreditation.
Binary. Where shall we get the Google link for submitting feedback?
aa jayega. It will come. NAAC will send the email to all the participants.
End of today, it will be sent.
This is something not related to NAAC, but under the previous accreditation regime, research funding were decided on the basis of NIRF ranking. What would be the case in the case of incoming results?
That government and the concerned bodies will decide actually. Because we don't do the linking. Linking is done by the respective funding and regulatory authorities.
there is a question from a B.Ed college. They've asked, are these metrics applicable to B.Ed colleges as well?
Yeah, I think as we explained, there will be a a specialized, not manual, but a shade of manual. The common metrics, all these metrics, but few metrics related to teacher education, so that will be there.
There's also a question from F.A. Ahmed College. They say that they have already submitted the DVV clarification. They ask that if binary accreditation can be applicable for them.
As we submitted FAQ, our understanding is that no, if you are now in the SSR stage, you have submitted SSR, it means you have progressed further. So you need to continue and complete that process.
The IFCAI Sikkim University have given a comment. For universities previously, research, innovation and extension, that is criteria 3, had 250 marks. In the binary system, will research, innovation and extension be for 100 marks?
It is not like that, sir. I think the VC sir, maybe Patnaik sir online. I think in the binary accreditation is supposed to be slightly lighter than the maturity level accreditation. So it is encompassing all the all types of variety of institution. Purpose is to bring large number of institutions. So you will see slight variation in terms of focus. So I believe that whatever scheme was presented, which is currently under discussion, will show slightly lower weightage for the research, but it is taken care in terms of other aspects like skill and other things.
We have a hand raised from Tezpur University. Can we unmute them to hear from them, please?
Habib.
Yes, madam. Tezpur University.
Yeah. Good afternoon, NAAC team, and also all our colleagues sitting here. So, I'm Professor D.C. Burwa, Director of Internal Quality Assurance at Tezpur University, representing the Vice Chancellor here. He is not available today. Now, my question directly to that, this presentation is clear, most of the things. How you taking care of these parameters? Earlier, you have the qualitative metrics as well as quantitative metrics. How, whether it is already decided or you are going to do that, whether how, because you say that binary, in that case, basically there could be some your quantitative assessment on that. This is one question. Second, also that different things, what you see in the data, you say that one nation, one data point, and then we institutions particularly need to, submit data or handle data for different regions, NIRF in India, as well as time, QS, as well as All India Survey of Higher Educations. So maybe if it is this requirement is framed or articulated so that one format would help for all the purposes, then I think that is also another requirement that will reduce the load and hassles at our level, institutions level, because data keeping, quality data keeping is a really challenge. And then if we can have the thing that one only will serve all the purposes, that additional manpower requirement as well as accuracy will be much maintained.
Sir, got it. Your point is got it. I think perhaps our director sir will be in a position to explain it better on ONOD and why this all initiative. I will just respond. Ji, boliye.
I have a third point. We are actually, I think, the 22. I think we got already this previous with A+, and then now what will be if we want to go for these things? Is it advisable for the binary now and then graded one? That is also another query to me for those at the midpoint now of the 5 years. Thank you very much. These are the questions.
Okay, so sir, I will start with the question on ONOD. I think all of those you explained just now as part of your question. So there will be a single interface for the institutions to submit data for all the agencies. Okay. In the process, how it happens is an institution will submit the basic data to ASHE, right? The same data will be validated and then it is frozen. Okay. Then by and large, you will not be allowed to change the data, that the basic data of the institution once you submit. Then there will be an interface for NBA, NAAC and others. And you go and click the button for NAAC, then it opens up it shows the data you already submitted, the basic data. From there, you will continue with the questions that we have for your NAAC process. And once the data is submitted, we have another application, accreditation application, which will fetch data from the YNOD portal, and we will do the accreditation part. The second question that you asked is the qualitative and quantitative aspects. So it is fully quantitative. There are no qualitative, there are qualitative aspects that we measure, but we measure quantitatively. We convert that into very objectively and measure it. As I earlier said in the beginning of the meeting, there are no peer team visits. Only in exceptional cases when there is too much of variation in the data, we will do an online visit. Otherwise, there are no visits. The third question, if I got it correctly, probably Dr. JP will continue to answer that question, is about you have a A+ grade now. Until the validity of that grade, you can use it. Okay. And at the expiry of that validity, then you need to come back to binary, is what we are saying now. But there is also a thought process that those institutions which have got good standing can we allow them to levels directly? Is also there is a thinking. A lot of people are suggesting that, but we are yet to make a decision on that. JP, if I have answered everything, otherwise you please supplement.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I think you have answered everything.
So there is a question on screen asking what is the last date for the current accreditation system?
The moment we launch binary, that will be the last date for the current one.
Means May end, sometimes in May.
Yeah, sometime in May.
So there is also
there any benchmark? Okay.
Yeah.
Is
Yes,
there
yes,
any
please.
benchmark for accreditation or minimum grade points required for new system? From which month? This process will start.
I think I have answered that. These things are in development, but to be little more precise, immediately after this stakeholder consultation, there will be a pilot study. So you will also receive, if you are interested, you will also receive that pilot questionnaire, and on the basis of the response and analysis of that pilot, the benchmarks will be decided, and in keeping in tradition of current methodology, these benchmarks will be available publicly. So you will be having clarity on the targets that you need to achieve or work on.
Yeah, one institution has asked what type of helping hand will be given to rural and remote based institutions.
Okay.
Yeah,
so there is a clear mention in the Dr. Radhakrishnan committee report that there will be mentoring and handholding to those institutions. And we are looking for feedback when we are sending out the feedback for Northeast, particularly. You may mention what kind of support you need. Based on that, we will devise a program. Maybe we'll have devise a variation. Okay, the programs, institutions looking at these kind of help. We will focus in set A and maybe another set B, maybe another bunch of requirements. We will group this and take up those initiatives.
So we have questions, hand raised by MDD University and Assam Downtown University. Mr. Habib, can you please unmute them?
Yes.
MDD
Yes, madam.
University,
Yes.
please.
MBB University.
Namaste, sir.
Namaste.
I would like to ask two questions. First, at the very outset, I extend thanks to the NAAC for giving the better choice for the accreditation, and that is the binary accreditation. And every institution now has to go for that. But my question is, sir, my university has submitted the SSR, and now the verification process is on. So when we will finish the NAAC accreditation process, from how much years we will go for the new binary accreditation? And secondly, I would like to know once we have finished the time required for binary accreditation, anyone who has finished the accreditation under the old process, after how many years they will go for the binary accreditation? Because under old methods, the 5 year was the landmark. Now you are setting everything calculation on the basis of 3 years. Whether it will be for the after 5 years or whether it will be after 3 years, the accredited institution will go for the binary accreditation. These are the two questions I would like to ask from you, sir.
Yes, sir. Sir, I think since you are already submitted SSR in the process of DVV clarifications, I believe you will continue to complete this process and you will have a valid accreditation and that will be valid for 5 years. So you will have option to benefit from that accreditation for 5 years till you have this valid status. But in the meantime, if the maturity based level based accreditation comes and you can find yourself eligible on one of the levels and you think that you are eligible and you want to go for the maturity based accreditation, considering it better version for you, that option will be also available for you. That is my understanding. Otherwise, you can go for binary first and then go to. But you still have 5 years to wait for the policy decisions and take your decisions accordingly.
Sir, can you tell me the level 1 to level 4 you are talking about national excellence? Any institution who has been accredited and has got some grade, how much grade is required to go for level 1 or level 2?
No, that nobody knows. We have not decided
policy.
We are now, sir, we are focusing only on binary accreditation. We will come back to you for a discussion on that levels.
Before December 2024, we will come back to you.
There is a question. If any college has withdrawn its SSR recently, will the college be applicable to apply in this binary system again?
Yes, they can apply.
We have a hand raised by Assam Downtown University. Mr. Habib, can you please unmute them?
Yes. Assam Downtown University. Please unmute and ask the question. Assam Downtown University. No response.
Okay, I think we also
to college.
Yeah. So there are a few hands.
Hello, am I audible? Hello, am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah, greetings. Greetings from Assam Downtown University. So we have a query. Actually, we are going to fill the IIQA in the month of July. So shall we have to wait for the new SSR or AQR, or we have to anyway work in the old AQR we have? Because when we are going for accreditation, we'll be anyway in the binary accreditation. So we have to wait for the upcoming SSR format manual, or we have to anyway work in the old SSR?
Madam, if we it seems you are preparing yourself for binary accreditation and you are due in July. So you please wait for this format to be formally launched and you can submit your application as per the new binary framework only.
Sir, what will be the probable time when it will be launched?
Decided, no, madam. We have announced that by end of May it will be launched.
Okay.
30th May is the current date given by NAAC.
And so now, as we are going for binary, therefore we have to be preparing data for last 3 years, not 5 years.
Yes, madam.
Okay. Thank you so much.
So, Professor Jitendra Hazarika, if the question is about the university, then perhaps Mr. Habib can unmute him.
Yeah, with this last question, you can move to your presentation, Priya.
Yes, sir.
I also saw GD Sharma Sahab, who has been very active in our discipline committees on the screen. Perhaps I don't know whether he has anything to add or no.
Mr. Habib, have you unmuted Professor Jitendra Hazarika?
Yes, madam. Yes. Yeah.
Professor Jitendra
Professor
Hazarika,
Jitendra.
could you?
He might have.
Yeah.
So okay, then there is another opportunity.
Yeah.
One after the presentation of the college panel. So thank you, and over to you, Priya.
Thank you very much, sir. Now, coming to the colleges, Dr. Sujata Sandbag has very clearly explained you each and every metric that are applicable to university. Now, as far as colleges are concerned, with autonomous college and affiliated college, let us concentrate what are the metrics which are removed, apart from which the entire manual will be applicable even for colleges.
Hello.
Professor Jitendra, I have
Yes.
Yeah, I've moved on to the next presentation. If you don't mind, soon after this, you can post your question. We assure you. So, in terms of universities, Dr. Sujata ma'am has explained about all the 68 metrics what are applicable for university. Now, for autonomous colleges, from the 68, there are only 62 metrics which are applicable for autonomous college, which means 6 metrics from the university will not be applicable for autonomous colleges. And for affiliated colleges, the total number of metrics are 53, which means 15 metrics out of the university metrics, whatever we have explained it to you just now, will not be applicable for affiliated colleges. Now, let us look into the metrics which are not applicable for autonomous colleges and universities. Now, stakeholder participation. We know very well that for the curriculum design or development, the stakeholders' participation from the colleges are quite unlikely, or there are very less provisions for the colleges to participate in the curriculum development. So this particular metric of participation of students, teachers, employees, alumni, entrepreneurs in curriculum design is not applicable for the colleges, but it is applicable for the autonomous college because curriculum design is at the independence of the autonomous college. Now, online and blended learning, percentage of courses through SWAYAM and other recognized platform which are credited in the curriculum during the last 3 years. Now, this metric is not applicable for the affiliated college because the credits for this courses that online and blended learning is appropriately decided by its affiliating university, and hence this is not applicable for affiliated colleges. But the freedom still lies with the autonomous college, so this metric will be applicable for autonomous colleges. Practical skill and orientation. The percentage of skill-oriented courses aligned with NSQF and skill-focused courses that are included in the curriculum. The inclusion in the curriculum is not in the hands of the affiliating colleges. Hence, this metric will not be applicable for the colleges, but this metric will be applicable for autonomous colleges. Curriculum flexibility. Now, the curriculum flexibility is reflected through schemes like multiple entry, multiple exit, academic bank of credits, elective courses, credit transfer, dual integrated or twinning degree programs, diversity of program options, use of mother tongue in teaching, open electives and interdisciplinary electives, creditization of extended curricular engagements like co-curricular and extracurricular activities. This metric is not applicable for affiliated colleges, but they are applicable for autonomous colleges. Curriculum revision, the frequency of curriculum revision is not in the hands of affiliated colleges. Hence, this metric is not applicable for affiliated colleges, but it is certainly applicable for autonomous colleges. Faculty recruitment. Now, the faculty sourcing practices adhered follow shortlisting based on the ordinances of central, state, and other universities. List of candidates shortlisted, posted on website, provision to appeal against the shortlisting, selection of committees constituted as per UGC regulations, roster followed for selection, selection based on academic score or written test or personal interview, required number of teaching positions as per the regulatory bodies filled up for the post of faculty, selection process of faculty, and transparent and open. All these aspects are not applicable for affiliated colleges, but they are applicable for autonomous colleges. Now, this particular aspect, like innovation and resource, that availability of innovation labs, tinkering labs, fabrication lab, technology business incubators are not applicable for both affiliated and autonomous college, considering the diversity of affiliated and autonomous colleges, wherein you have only arts and general humanities colleges as well, wherein such provisions might not be available on a larger scale, and hence this particular metric is dropped from both affiliated and autonomous college. The academic grievance redressal system, in terms of the assessment-related grievance redressal system, includes sharing of copies of answer script, retotaling, re-evaluation, faculty consultation on student performance, and any other specific practices. Now, because evaluation is not in the forte of affiliating colleges, this metric is not applicable to affiliated college, but evaluation is part of the forte of autonomous college. Hence, this metric is applicable for autonomous colleges. Now, statutory compliances, when we talk about the acts, statutes, ordinance, regulations of the universities are followed by the guidelines, which are strictly adhered, and the guidelines are publicly disclosed in the HAI website. Now, what are all disclosed? The acts, statutes, regulation, ordinances, details of the members of different statutory committees, frequency of the meetings, annual reports, academic regulations and academic calendars, and curriculum and regulations of the COs and POs. These are not applicable for both affiliated colleges and autonomous colleges. Now, when we talk about inter-university collaborations, like networking with other institutions, sharing of resources, consortium of universities, mentoring institutions, or collaborative researches with other institutions. Now, this particular metric is not applicable for both colleges and affiliated colleges as well as autonomous colleges. Now, when we talk about competitive exams, some of the institutions run only UG programs, and hence many of such institutions will not be, or students will not be eligible to take competitive exams, most of the competitive exams directly. And hence, a percentage of graduate students qualifying NET, SLET, GATE, UPSC, GPAT, GMAT, CAT, SEED, etc. So now this particular metric is not applicable for both autonomous and affiliated colleges. Now, PhD awarded, number of PhDs awarded by the institution per full-time faculty for the last 3 years. This metric is also not applicable for both colleges, for the affiliated colleges as well as the autonomous colleges. Now, research fellowships like JRF, SRF received by the research fellows of the institution. Now, this is also not applicable for both autonomous and affiliated colleges. Apart from this, these two metrics, average H-index and Scopus plus Web of Science, average citation index from Scopus and Web of Science. This metric is not applicable for affiliated colleges, but this metric is certainly applicable for autonomous colleges. Now, in terms of IPR produced, the total number of IPR produced, patents, copyright, trademarks, which are granted to the institution. Now, here, this particular metric is not applicable for the affiliated colleges, but it is certainly applicable for autonomous colleges. Now, if I'm making my point very clear, for whatever that Dr. Sujata Shanbag presented, from this, whatever the metrics I read out completely are not applicable for affiliated colleges, and those metrics which are marked in yellow are not applicable for affiliated colleges, but they are other matrices are applicable for the autonomous colleges. Now, with this, if I could just quickly go through, these are the matrices to just run through the outcome-based curriculums of curriculum framework in alignment with program-specific outcomes covering POs, UOs, and PSOs. With this, all the into marks, whatever you are seeing, these are the non-applicable metrics. This particular metric of talking about Indian knowledge system, IKS is promoted through integration of components in the curriculum, such as You can have a certificate course in IKS. You can have workshops or seminars or conferences on IKS. Components of IKS in the core curriculum, of course, will not be possible for affiliated colleges, but it is possible for autonomous colleges. Promotion of students to take projects or to do projects or researches on IKS. This is applicable for both affiliated and autonomous colleges. Now, all of these matrices which was pointed out in 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, 2.4, 2.5, and 6 are all applicable for both autonomous and affiliated colleges. Now, the third criteria, which is about infrastructure. Now, the physical infrastructure, learning resources, and IT-based infrastructure. Now, all the three are applicable for both autonomous and affiliated colleges. Research resources and Divyanjan-friendly resources. These are also applicable for affiliated and autonomous colleges. Now, in terms of financial resources, most of the matrices are applicable for both autonomous and affiliated colleges. In terms of learning and teaching, also is completely applicable for autonomous college, but for affiliating colleges, as I told you earlier, grievance redressal system is to the university, to their affiliating university, and hence for colleges, you will not find this metric. Now, in terms of extended curricular engagements, the entire matrices what is available for the universities will be applicable for the affiliated as well as autonomous colleges. Now, in terms of governance and administration, there are two metrics which will not be applicable for autonomous colleges, whereas about the statutory compliances and inter-university collaborations that will not be applicable for colleges as well as for affiliating colleges and autonomous colleges, which was already shown to you. Now, in terms of student outcomes, the competitive exams alone will not be applicable for affiliated and autonomous colleges. Apart from that, the entire metrics will be applicable for the colleges. Now, in terms of the research and innovation, H-index, citation index, Scopus, and Web of Science will not be applicable for affiliating institutions, and IPRs, copyrights, trademarks granted to the institution will not be applicable for the affiliating institutions, but these are very much applicable for autonomous institutions. Now, the 10th criteria, which is about sustainability, is completely applicable for the autonomous as well as affiliated colleges. So with this, if we can just recap, I just bring you to the slides that I showed you just earlier, wherein that we say that these are the metrics which will not be applicable for affiliated colleges, but are applicable for autonomous colleges. And those metrics, what I have marked in yellow, will be the metrics which will not be applicable for autonomous college as well as the affiliating college. That gives us to the number that university will have 68 metrics, autonomous colleges will have 62 metrics, and affiliated colleges will have 53 metrics, wherein autonomous college will not have 6 metrics from the university manual, and affiliated colleges will not have 15 metrics from the university manual. Sir, if this is fine, can we take questions from the colleges?
Thank you, Priya. Let us take the question answers.
So the PPTs will be shared to all the participants who are there online today. So there's no need to mention it in the chat box. So we will be sharing the PPTs with all of you. Please post your questions in the chat box, or please raise your hand so that we can take up your questions.
There is one chat question. Our college has submitted the SSR in October 2023 and DVV in December. Due to technical glitches at your end, we were instructed to submit DVV again, and I will not be able to assess under the binary. How do we proceed and how long will it require? Because as per the discussion, we will not be assessed under the binary, but former. Okay, that's the information.
Sir, please share your HID and we will get back to you about the process, and we will get in touch with you, sir. Ma'am, we have a question here. Ma'am, kindly let me know our last NAAC assessment validity is till Jan 2025. Which process shall we follow for the upcoming assessment, binary or the old? Sir, the old will cease to exist when binary comes into play, and we have all probabilities by May 2024 binary will be operational, and hence you will have to come only to the binary accreditation process. Then there's a question, how to prepare the AQAR from July 2024?
See, till we notify the new format, they need to continue to submit the AQR in the present format. Whenever we take the decision on the same, if there is any change in the format, we will notify through our website.
Or in other words, if they are having a validity of their grade, let us say for next 2 years, until they want to use the validity, they need to keep submitting the AQAR. If they move to binary, then they will start filling another different AQAR.
Sir, here there is a question by Vidya Bharati College. Evaluation period may be for 2 years, ma'am? There's a question mark.
That's we said 3 years. 3 years already. JP talked about it.
Yes, sir. What is the process for affiliated colleges with PG courses? As of now, we are not differentiating affiliated colleges with PG or UG programs. So all affiliated colleges have been treated as affiliated colleges only. Will there be any exemption for rural and remote colleges? Exemptions.
Okay, there are no. Okay, there is some relaxation in some metrics possible. We explained what is called situatedness, and you will be provided an opportunity to explain that, and the committee will take a final call how we are going to really accommodate that. And definitely there will be help to those institutions in sort of preparing and submitting data. You can move on to the next question, Priya.
So we have few hands raised, and I think we talk with Professor Jitendra Hazarika. So from there, can we take up the questions for the hands that have been raised? Mr. Habib?
Yes, madam. Professor Jiten Hazarika. Please unmute, sir.
Are you hearing?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Actually, just 4 months back, we have completed our accreditation, but now we are interested within a 1 year again shifted to this new system. Is it possible for us? Very recently, our university has got the grant of Meru also.
No, sir, the question is, what is the grade that you got?
Yes.
What is the grade that you have received in the current
grade is actually B++. We are not satisfied with this. Some mistake from our side also. Our side also in AQR submission.
Okay.
So why we are interested to move next accreditation process. That is a new one.
When did you get that accreditation done?
Yes.
Which month?
in the month of November, last November.
Last November.
November.
Okay, you are not eligible for reassessment until you complete
Yes,
one more year.
now not eligible, but within 1 year, can we shift to the new one?
Yeah, you can obviously shift to a new one. The moment binary is launched, you can go for binary.
Okay. Thank you.
The IFCAI institution also has raised hands, and Apex Professional Institution had also raised hands.
IFCAI University Sikkim. IFCAI University Sikkim. Please unmute, sir. No response.
Okay, so here is a question. When do we get the benchmark and SOP for the new methodology of accreditation?
Sir, you have to unmute.
Sir, you're in mute.
With the manuals, we will also announce the benchmarks. Yeah, if there are no questions, we can definitely close. Priya, just have a check on that.
Sir, there are some of the questions which are there on the chat as well, and there are also people who have raised their hands. Mr. Habib, are you able to see? I see here Professor Tomo Riba, Vice Chancellor of Arunachal University, has raised his hands. Mr. Habib, can you please unmute him?
Yes, madam.
So you can unmute yourself and post your question. Sir, you're
Professor
muted.
Tomo Riba. Yeah.
No, you have not unmuted yourself, sir. You need to unmute yourself. So we could not hear you. You have to unmute yourself. आपकी स्क्रीन में म्यूट बटन है ना?
Can Habib unmute him?
Habib,
Yes.
would you unmute him?
Yes, madam.
Yeah,
Yes,
please unmute, na?
yes, madam.
Please
I have
unmute.
done, madam.
It looks like that after we unmute, he has to unmute his device.
Yeah. Yes, both way. So that some prompt might have come from some.
Even that one also, if Habib can unmute.
Yeah. But then, Dr. I'm seeing here Dr. Dhruva Chakrabarti. Habib?
Yes, madam. Yes. Dr. Dhruva Chakrabarti, sir. Please unmute. No answer, madam.
Radha Mehab College, from Radha Mehab College.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
so on
ma'am.
behalf of Dhruva Chakrabarti,
Yeah.
sir, I'm IQAC coordinator speaking, sir. So first of all, sir, we have accredited in the last February, that means February 2023. So I think, sir, we can avail the accreditation up to 2028.
Ji, madam.
This is, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, madam. You
Yes.
can continue.
Yes, sir. And sir, another point, sir, that is not a question, that is my request. That sir, during our last assessment period, you have organized lots of webinar and I have attended, and all are very much helpful. So please organize such type of program, sir, ma'am. And sir, another point, will you go to prepare the SOP for this time also? Because all the SOPs are very much, we got lots of help from those SOP.
Yes, madam, will be done. Sujata, you want to?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
sir.
what, same. Yeah, we will be preparing the SOP, and when we announce the binary accreditation, those also will be uploaded on the website of NAAC.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Hello, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, now we can hear you, sir.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, sir. So, ma'am, my request is my university, very new university, is only 1 year old. Now, students are in 2 year, now second semester only. So, my request, I seek your suggestion. So, in between, I have to wait for 2 batches to out. So, please advise me what I should do preparative works in between.
Yeah, sir, you can start thinking on the lines of these metrics. These are the suggestive ones, what we are expecting from an institution.
Yes.
Maybe you can start implementing all those things and
Yes.
have a documentation, please.
Yes.
That will be very useful.
Yes, thank you.
In fact, you are lucky, sir. You have got all the things beforehand, so you have 2 years to prepare on those metrics.
Shall we take next, sir?
Yeah,
Yes.
please.
Dr. Khairul Islam. Dr. Khairul Islam. Dr. Khairul Islam, please unmute, sir.
Sir, we are from Kothaguri College. Sir?
Yeah, we are able to
Yes,
hear you. Please.
please.
go ahead, sir.
We have prepared IIQA for currently we have prepared IIQA, but we have not submitted it. And whether will be our method, will old method or our binary method, in which method we will follow. We have also
If you
prepared
want to come, yeah, please.
No, Sujata, please go ahead, madam.
If you have already prepared the things, and if you want to come in the present methodology, you can submit the IIQA.
Yeah.
If you want to go for the binary, you can wait and submit once it is announced.
Sir, we have a
We have
question.
prepared the SSR also.
Yes.
We
Basically, Islam Saab, you are in a golden window given by NAAC.
Yeah.
So you have a choice with you whether you want to continue in the current grading system or you want to opt for binary. You can take your own call. You have a couple of months to decide on that.
How much time we will get for some submission, our SSR, before the binary come in existence?
No, see, this is very clear. If you follow the current system, the rules of the current system will apply. So once you submit IIQA, it will be approved, say, in 15 days or 1 month, and then you get 45 days to submit the SSR. This is the system for the current methodology.
Yeah.
In the new methodology, things will be different and they will be announced.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, thanks. Thank you, sir.
Sir,
we
there's
take
a
next?
question from Diksha Bhuyan. Sir, we have been accredited in October 2018 and our validity has expired in November 2023. Since we have not yet submitted our SSR for the next cycle, can we shift to the new binary system?
Yes, madam, same. They are in the golden window. Extended golden window, actually, because their validity might have already expired.
Yeah.
Here we have a question from Dr. S. Pradhan. My college is established in 2016 and it is a science college dealing with BSc honors only and have not yet applied for accreditation. It is situated in a remote location in western part of Sikkim. It is a government college and our government is in the process of converting it into a multidisciplinary institution by introducing other subjects as well as in view of several institutional challenges. It will perhaps take some more time. Will my college be eligible to apply for binary accreditation?
Yes, madam. I think that is a good choice for them. In view of the challenges that he had mentioned, I think binary would be appropriate option for them.
And they are eligible.
Radha Mahab College has been unmuted already, isn't it? So they say that they are waiting for their turn to ask the question. Mr. Habib?
Yes, madam, yes. Radha Madhab College. Please unmute, sir. Radha Madhab College. No response. Shall we take next?
Yes.
Lakhipur College.
So we will not take any question which is not related to binary accreditation, because you may always post these questions in the IMS, please.
There is one question, Dr. Madam, I will flag.
Will there be
what special provision will be provided for states in remote area and low population, hence low enrollment? I think, as has been explained, perhaps we have a provision called unique or situatedness related metrics. Some 5% of weightage will be there, wherein these aspects will be covered, and you will get due benefit of your situation.
Will there be any purity visit in the binary accreditation process? Question posted by Dr. Pranab Sandilia.
I think वो तो 2-3 बार clear किया है. It is director has explained, and even subsequent presentations, it has been clear that unique, the most distinguishing feature of the binary accreditation is that one of the most distinguishing feature is that there shall be no visit. In extreme or in rare cases, there could be possibly online visit, but that is also in rare cases. So no visit.
Habib, there is a hand raised by Assam Downtown University. Could you please unmute them?
Yes. Assam Downtown University.
They have already spoken. If they have any other question, perhaps, or maybe their old hand is still there.
Okay.
Guru Sharan College has a question. They are requesting to unmute.
Hello, sir. Here the new question is from my side. When we are going to the binary system, what will be the threshold value for the different criteria?
That was, I think I read that FAQ. It will be decided soon. It is not yet decided, but when the scheme will be announced, it will be there clearly mentioned, whether it is 50% or 60%. Obviously, somewhere in between. In total, I doubt there will be any metric specific or attribute specific cutoff, but there will be overall cutoff to determine at what level.
Yeah, suppose there is some university collaboration, and if threshold value is 100, then it will be the different, and if it's the 500, it will be the different.
Yes, sir, that is how. If Madam, you want to explain?
No, they are asking about the benchmark.
I know. You want to explain? You can explain. Or I will explain. You can add. Yeah, sir. The benchmarks system we believe will be same as we are currently following. So for every metric, there will be a range of benchmarks. What example you are given? If I want to take that example, they will be saying that if you have a 0 to 50 activities, there may be you may get 1 mark. If 50 to 100, you may get 2 marks. 100 to 100 to 200, you may get 3, and maybe beyond that, you may get 4. So similar type of structure will be there for all. So it is not very hard and fast. It would be slightly liberal and accommodative scheme.
Yes, sir. May I know that probable date of that, the kind of the benchmarking? But we are going to apply for that.
Certainly before 30th of May, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir. So nice. Sir.
Thank you.
Guru Charan College. Guru Charan College.
Sir, here is a question.
No.
We have completed third cycle of NAAC inspection last year in the month of March 2023. Do we need to wait till its expiry date for application for binary inspection? This is a question posted by Dr. Romeo Lokobo from Janta College, Assam.
I think we explained it earlier to one question, Lobo sir, that you will have this facility to enjoy this accreditation till its validity, that is 2028. But in the meantime, if there is some scheme coming out from NAAC, if in between you want to go for the graded level or binary, something like that, that option you can exercise at when it becomes open. As of now, you need not worry, you are accredited for 5 years.
We have a query from the VC of Rajiv Gandhi University, Arunachal Pradesh. We are affiliating universities and we have queries regarding a few of the metrics of affiliated colleges. So you can type your queries, or if you want us to unmute you, we can do that. So Habib, can you locate VC of Rajiv Gandhi University, Arunachal Pradesh?
Yes, madam.
Hello, are you audible, ma'am?
Yes, you're audible, ma'am.
Okay, so ma'am, we are an affiliating university. So in the for the colleges, some of the metrics that has been dropped for affiliated college, one is like online and blended learning part, which basically deals with SWAYAM credits,
Yes.
right? But Ministry of Education is like constantly asking us to increase the SWAYAM enrollment in our affiliated colleges. So if that metrics is dropped, then colleges will no longer be interested to ask their student to enroll in the SWAYAM courses. So that will like hamper our work and the Ministry of Education's directive. Secondly is that the recruitment metrics is dropped for affiliated colleges, but we have private colleges also in our affiliations where they do their own recruitment. So if that metrics is dropped, then that will kind of lower the quality of recruitment in the private colleges, because they will no longer be bound, or there won't be any incentive for them to follow the process. And the third one is the student grievance system. That part has also been dropped from the affiliated colleges, but the continuous evaluation is done by the college. So the student grievances are dealt by the principal and the concerned faculties of the colleges. So if that is dropped, then the continuous evaluation process may be hampered. So these are our submissions.